they can't call it performance art, or they can't change their name on Twitter. Who cares what the hell she changes her name on Twitter? If this is, hurting her image, if you think this is hurting Trisha Parker's image, well then okay, she's hurting her image. If that's what's happening, who cares? Let her do it. If you think this is actually going to hurt her, guys, who cares? Let it happen then. Then maybe you'll be happy or something. I don't know. Just let it happen. Let her do her thing. Who gives a damn? All right, guys. I'm Jake, aka Bomber, and we're here again. Jim Cornette has, of course, set the wrestling internet community on fire with his recent outbursts. I mean, they happen almost every other day now, so nothing new there. But another giant controversial topic that I don't understand and don't know why we're getting into it, but guess what? It's happening, so we're getting into it. So the question is out there, guys. You have to almost take a side now. That's what's happening. You get ridiculed if you don't take a side. So I guess we're going to have to make a call here. Is it performance art or is it professional wrestling? Bad boy Joey Janela posted a tweet. What should it be called? Professional wrestling, performance art, or outlaw mud show? Maybe it's outlaw mud show. Maybe it's something else. Anyway, spoiler alert, I picked professional wrestling because, in my opinion, I think it should be called professional wrestling. That's what I'm going to call it. But do I think you're wrong if you call it performance art or an outlaw mud show? Some people probably prefer to call a lot of it outlaw mud shows. Depends what the content is anyway. But bottom line is, I don't know why we are arguing. There's so many things like to argue that's going on. It's just people have to find the most insane things. And I'm going to point out why I think we're arguing about this a little bit later. But let's get into it, okay? Yes, so I said, can we move on now? I posted a little GIF replying to Joey Janela, and he replied back, what is it called? I said, whatever it takes to get people to stop talking about this, okay? And he says, it's called Outlaw Mud Show. Let's leave it at that. So obviously, it's fun to, I think it's okay to poke fun at this stuff. I'll never understand why people get like heated up or mad. Who cares? That's it. That's the bottom. I hate to come in here and be like, who cares what you call it, and then kind of wipe out the whole purpose of the video. But I think that is the purpose of what has happened. I feel like that needs to be the purpose of the video is, who cares? I personally would prefer to call it professional wrestling. I will always call it professional wrestling. If anything, I would call it sports entertainment way before I call it performance art. Does that mean performance art's wrong? No, it doesn't. If you think it's performance art, call it that. And there's this whole wave going on right now because this whole thing got started when Jim Cornette started going in on Jordynne Grace because Jordynne Grace changed her name to like her Twitter handle to her actual name, Trisha Parker, I think it is. Yeah, Trisha Parker. And you know what? The funny thing is, in her headline here, in her bio, it says professional wrestler. I mean, there's so much crap going on right now that it's almost hard to keep track because it's almost, to a lot of the hardcore wrestling fans, like, or I should say old school hardcore wrestling fans, which I would consider myself in that category, a lot of those people, not actually myself included in this, think it's, taboo, or these wrestlers can't call it whatever they want. They can't call it performance art, or they can't change their name on Twitter. Who cares what the hell she changes her name on Twitter? If this is, hurting her image, if you think this is hurting Trisha Parker's image, well then okay, she's hurting her image. If that's what's happening, who cares? Let her do it. If you think this is actually going to hurt her, guys, who cares? Let it happen then. Then maybe you'll be happy or something. I don't know. Just let it happen. Let her do her thing. Who gives a damn? Another Impact wrestler, Ethan Page. He's a tag team champion right now. Ethan Page, played by Julian. Earlier he had his last name too. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, Ethan Page, played by Julian. There's almost this wave that there's so much crap and toxicity that's just spinning around and floating around in the internet wrestling community. They're doubling down on, making it fake and making it not real and stuff like that. And for you that are out there saying, wrestling needs to be real, it needs to be this and that. Look, I 100% prefer wrestling when it is, treated in a realistic environment. I will always stand by that. I mean, I assume I've always stand by that. I've always stood by it by now, for now anyway, that I truly think that wrestling is best in its purest form when people believe stuff is real and everything is treated in a realistic environment. That's my opinion. That's what I like about wrestling. Now, for other people out there, they don't necessarily, I know that sucks and you think it's ruining stuff. This is hard to explain. Why is Eddie Murphy trending right now? I don't know. Anyway, let's go on. I know it's hard to ignore stuff out there that's happening. Like Ethan Page played by Julian. I honestly, I don't think that's cool, but who cares? He can do whatever he wants. To me, I think a lot of people they think they're being slapped in the face and stuff. And you know what? The dude can do what he wants. Do I personally like Ethan Page played by Julian? He's kind of saying, oh, you know what? I'm just a fake professional wrestler. Look at me, blah, blah, blah. Fake name in the little thing. You know what? I don't particularly like that, but guess what? I'm just not going to pay attention to him. That's not that big of a deal, right? Why do we have to get so mad at these people? You know, I'm passionate when my voice jumps up. Why do we got to get so mad at these people? Just ignore them. Like, for Jim Cornette is the primary toxicity ball that's happening in the wrestling community. And you know what? I like Jim Cornette. I almost love Jim Cornette. He's hilarious. He's very skilled. He can cut a promo on anybody and make him look horrible. You talk about art. Jim Cornette is fucking great at that stuff, okay? No matter how much you hate him and, disagree, Jim Cornette is fucking good. You may disagree, but whatever. I mean, look, right now, Jim Cornette is this thing that people, they get so mad at. And this is why I think that this is becoming an argument, because he spoke up about it. I think the hate for Jim Cornette has become so big just on the internet community, no matter who he goes in on or what he says or tweets or whoever takes a little snippet on his podcast and posts it, everybody gets mad. And no matter what, people are going to double down on Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette is out there trying to, make wrestling, be treated as like a sport and, make fun of people who aren't treating it, he's making fun of the comedy guys, right? And in return, what's happening is he is making all these people, all these wrestlers, they're doubling down and they are, making it more fake. I don't know the way to describe it, but they're making it more comedy, more fake, more over the top, jokey because of what he's doing. So while Jim Cornette's trying to, save wrestling or whatever he's trying to do, he's actually hurting it because he's making these people double down. Joey Janela just had a match in GCW not long ago where his tag team partner was an Invisible Man, and his opponent had a tag team partner that was an Invisible Stan. Everybody's just jumping out and talking about it, posting it, doing this and that because of the stuff that Jim Cornette's doing. So if you are out there and you really hate, if you really hate all this stuff, you hate people changing their name, you hate people calling performance art, you hate people, wrestling invisible people and stuff. Here's just my 2 cents and my solution, I think, almost. But, who knows? You do what you want to do. This is what I think, though. Ignore it. Don't tweet about it. Don't retweet it. Don't comment on it. Don't get it out there. People that hate Jim Cornette, my question to you is, why do you keep sharing his stuff and getting his name out there and getting this and that out there? Oh, well, it makes me mad. Well, then sit back, and take a look at yourself there. Oh my God, you're making it so much more worse on yourself and everybody else by, continuing the hate. If Jim Cornette's mad and cuts a promo on somebody and he starts something like if he started this stuff with Trisha Parker, Jordan Grace, whatever you want to call her, if he started this stuff with her, let it in there. Don't keep going on about it. Don't go on her page, his page, everybody's page, and just fucking go nuts on everything. Like, all that does is make it worse. Who cares if they call it performance art? Who cares? Let those people do what they want. Here's a little example. I am not a big fan of the Joey Ryan, okay? I don't like the comedy style, okay? This is not my thing. There are some things that can be done comedy style wise that I like. I as far as the old school wrestling style in me goes, a lot of you, I don't know if you're new around here or not, first time watching this video, but I really side with my views on enjoying wrestling are very close to Jim Cornette's. Not as extreme as Jim Cornette's, but I like that. Prefer that style. That's just my opinion, and I don't think the other stuff's wrong, but that's just the stuff that I like. So anyway, Joey Ryan. I'm not really big on Joey Ryan, but guess what? Do I go out there retweeting stupid videos he does every day? Do I go out there every time he does a dick flipper or gets vomited on or whatever the fuck's going on? Do I go out there and retweet it and post it and do this and that every single time? No. Most of the time, stuff is brought to me. People go, hey, Bomber, I know you don't like Joey Ryan. Take a look at this. And the only reason I'm talking about this stuff is because of the show here. I'm trying to get more of, opinions out there on what I think about this and that, and we can jump in the comment section and just discuss this kind of stuff. And hopefully not just go in there and bash each other about it, because that is the exact opposite of what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to say people need to tone it down a little bit. Don't be so heated. Don't be so mad right off the bat. If Jim Cornette pissed you off, you know what? I mean, I know it's hard. This is coming from, the worst person to say this, but try to avoid, jumping in and talking about and getting mad and arguing about it. I know I need to, I'm working on that actually, by the way, because I'm the first person that would always back in the day, I would jump in and be like, all right, you son of a bitch. I don't know if I've seen the light or something, but I've definitely toned it down a lot, and it's helping quite a bit. So I know I ran with a lot, okay, but this bottom line, everything was pretty much, exploded and brought up between Jim Cornette and Jordynne Grace. Look, bottom line, last thing I'm just going to say here. Call it what you want. It doesn't mean it's wrong if somebody calls it something different. I personally would never call it performance art, and that's fine. That should be fine anyway. If you want to call it performance art and you think that's what it should be called, I'm not going to agree with you. I'm not going to say, all right, yes, it should be called performance art. I'm just not going to agree to that. That's just not the way it's going to be. But I'm not about to fight you to the death and die on a hill in the comment section. But I think at this point in time, there is so much hate and dislike for Jim Cornette that people take the opposite side of what he says on almost everything he talks about, and they go to the extreme. And now you have people doubling down, changing their Twitter handles to Ethan Page played by Julian. Again, at the end of the day, I'm not going to agree with it, but guess what? I'll just stop watching that person. It's not that big of a deal. So right now in the comments section, let me know, what do you want to call it? Do you want to call it pro wrestling, or do you want to call it performance art? You want to call these people pro wrestlers or performance artist or something else? I would always take the term sports entertainer or sports entertainment over performance artist, but hey, that's just me. If you want to call it that, man, go for it. Do what you got to do. But you need to stop the damn flaming in the comment section on Twitter. You think you're some I'm going to stand up for the old school wrestling, or I'm going to stand up for performance artists. Get out of here. I may be in the wrong, and you may be mad at me. You may be already typing, hit that dislike button, and you're getting in the comment section and you're so mad. You need to sit back and look at yourself and see that you are causing all this shit. You need to calm down. It's not that big of a deal. That we could be talking about so many other things right now, but it's always derived from Jim Cornette. Okay, usually derived from Jim Cornette. Like almost every one of these videos that lately that I've been doing, for the most part, they've always been sparked by, Jim Cornette saying something. It's becoming ridiculous, guys. Bottom line, if you don't like Jim Cornette, stop sharing his shit, okay? If you don't like, people like Jordynne Grace, don't follow her shit. Stop doing stuff. It's just, don't follow the people anymore. Don't interact with them. Just fucking forget about them. All right, I got too heated here. I'm gonna take a sip of my little witch water. I got some on me. Okay, whatever. Guys, oh man, I do got some on me for real. We'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you think down below. Which one you got? Performance art, pro wrestling. Your call.